Hi, it's Nat from Nat Tries here. So today I received a really exciting delivery in the mail, which was my Hobonichi 2026 order. So maybe some of you following are well aware of Hobonichi, but they seem to be the gold standard, the holy grail of planners, particularly because of their kind of Japanese heritage and the paper that they use, along with just the amazing designs that they have. And they're well known for the special paper, and it's what I call Bible paper. It's that really lovely thin paper that you get in Bibles, which is just a joy to write on in your planners. So I've got my last year's kind of stash here, which I won't go into too much detail of. But first of all, I had the Cherry Weeks planner from last year, with obviously this cover to protect the bow tie cherry cover on there. Obviously you get a lot of glare on that, so I'll try and angle that effectively. And this was a Weeks Mega that I got last year, and I've just been using it for kind of like health tracking and things like that. I have to admit that I did unfortunately fall by the wayside in May and June because I was in hospital. But apart from that, it's been super useful tracking things like my water intake, vitamins, all that stuff. All that stuff, as well as logging exercise and just kind of making like useful notes as well about my week in here. So really enjoyed the weeks. So definitely wanted to get another one of these. I do think, however, that the Weeks Mega was just too many pages for me, so I've decided to just go for a normal Weeks this year. So that was that one I got. And then I just couldn't resist this one last year because of I just love the colours of this. So this was the Liberty A6 Techo. And again, it's got I put a plastic cover on because this is a fabric, so I really wanted to protect that. But I just love these beautiful kind of minty, sagey greens and peaches and yeah, yellows. It's just so beautiful. And this one I've kind of used again as much more of like just like a journal, like what I got up to each day, thoughts, feelings, that kind of thing. Nothing like too groundbreaking in here. Just decorated it with like lots of stickers and things. And again, this one kind of fell by the wayside a little bit because of my time in hospital, which was unexpected to say the least. So yeah, that was my main order last year with those two books. So this year the order came super early, could not believe it. I ordered it at about 3:30 in the morning on the 1st of September. That's 3:30 in the UK. And then I think the next day, the Tuesday, I think it was, I had a message to say it was shipped and it would come a week. It would take a week to get to the UK from Japan. And lo and behold, Friday morning, I had a message to say it was out for delivery and it arrived about lunchtime. So it was super chuffed to receive that. So going down to top-down view, here is the box this year. Everyone gets excited about what the boxes look like and potentially using them to store your yearly supplies in as you move from one year to the next with your old planners. Last year I remember it was pale blue. So this year we've got this lovely, what I would call a pistachio green. And yep, that's pretty much it for the box. Mine didn't come within a box, it just came like this. So it's a bit bashed, not the prettiest looking of things. So I will just be recycling this. So let's open it up. I have cut it open, so just to get ready for the video. So here we go. So let me just, oh, what a pain. So anyway, so there is the quote. I know, again, some people are big fans of this quote and want to hear what it says. So it's there on the screen if you want to have a read through, but let's get into it. So here we are. So all of them are parcelled up in a handy bubble wrap. So let's move the box out to the side. Oh, there we go. And let's get this open. So, everything is all wrapped up in here. Wow, it's quite heavy. So First things first, let's start with this, seeing as it's what we can see on top. So as you can probably tell by the size, I went for an A5 cover because I decided to go for a cousin this year. I just wanted something with a bit more space and capacity to be sort of really creative daily. So I went for I think it's the forest green A5 cover. So on the inside, it's this lovely kind of, again, that sort of minty pistachio green, lots of pockets to use. And then outside this beautiful kind of emerald green, which bizarrely matches the wall of my office. So yeah, so lovely. It's that lovely sort of polyester sheeny material. Oh, lovely little bookmark tags there with a triangle and rectangle on. Nothing exciting in the pockets because I think this is just the sort of standard colours range, so it's not particularly exciting. There's no pictures, there's no, you know, there's no extra little hidden things in these ones, unlike some of the ones like the Moomin cover. So yeah, just a little thing about the life books there to check. Oh, we do have a little quote, and I can't remember what that reads as now. It's something like a perfect ordinary day or something like that. Anyway, so yep, so that's the inside and the outside cover there. A little bit of, so looking really lovely. I love this colour. And then, because I do like to get the cover on covers to protect my planners, this caught my eye. And this is the clear cover on cover, which I just thought was absolutely beautiful. I love the colours on it. It's by Yuri Sanai, and it's the cover on cover called Forest Lake. And I just thought that this would go so nicely with the greens. So let's get this out and have a look. I did not realise that it was silver. That's so pretty. Oh, I love it. I love this purple as well. So let's see what this looks like on the cover. Oh, that's lovely. Sorry, there's probably a lot of glare on that, but that is just beautiful. I love the colours. I absolutely love the colours. And I love this little pop of silver. As I said, I don't know if you can see that, but there is silver to that with the tulips or reeds or whatever they are. So, so pretty. So yeah, so that's my A5 cousin cover. And speaking of which, here is my cousin. I got the English edition. So again, let's get this open. Here we go. So I've not had a cousin before. So yeah, so we'll have a look at this in a second. With all of your Hobonichi planners, you do get these little leaflets, and they're different every year depending on the theme. So for this year, it's the little robot, which is one of the free gifts that you get, which I'll show shortly. And I think I've seen this already on YouTube in other videos, but it just gives you a bit of information about the Hobonichi Techo, ways to use it. They give you some lovely little ideas here about what to write about. And yeah, and when you fully open it up, there's a dot picture, or paint by numbers if you will, in here. So they've got an easy, a medium, and then hard, which just means bigger basically, and the colour key down here, and you get to colour this in. So I will have a little go at that later, and that will probably be getting stuck in, and maybe I will save that for over the New Year break. So yeah, so I'm just going to tuck that in there. Oh no, I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm going to tuck it in there for now. Keep that safe. And then here is the cousin. So it's quite a hefty book, particularly in comparison to the A6 that I've been using. So you can really kind of see really sort of big size difference there. I think, as I say, this is the first time I've ever had my hands on a cousin. That sounds slightly wrong, but never mind. But inside, it's very similar. I guess you've got your years at a glance, and then you've got your kind of monthly verticals, and then you've got your monthlies, and then we go into weeklies. I'm not sure how I'm going to use all this yet, but I will have a think about it. And then once you get past your weeklies, you've got your full page dailies. And because it's the English version, obviously all of the quotes are in English as well. So I'm really looking forward to having this bigger space for like my creative projects and things in here. So yeah, all full pages. And on the side, you'll see that each month is color coded. So these are all different colors. I'm not sure how well that shows up on camera. And then at the back, we've got all the lovely little useful info pages. So your 100, timetables, favourites, graph for tracking. This is new for this year. So this is the memories page. So you've got like food, great food, fun times, new friends, and then one of you can make for yourself. Ways to help you focus, words to remember. I swear this is the creepy bear from the page, the web page. So when you bought your order, while you were waiting to check out, this creepy bear was popping up that was coming closer and closer to the camera and then walked away. And watching that for 10 minutes while you're trying to check out at 3:30 in the morning, a bit weird, but I swear this is that same bear. So it's ironic that it says for a comfortable night's sleep and then they put the creepy bear on here. Words to remember, as I said, your check off sheet, and then other stuff, you know, about ideas of how to get the most out of your Techo, gift list, which is handy, addresses, and that's pretty much it. And then your unique stamp number there for your own personal cousin. So I'm going to pop this in here now. There we go, finally in. Oh, a bit of a struggle. So yeah, so that is my cousin setup for next year. Now I just have to put it away in the cupboard and keep it nice and not use it, you know, or get it set up. I'll get it out in December, make Christmas feel more Christmassy. So that is my A5 cousin and the cover I went for. So moving on, because I did mention that I got a Weeks as well, because they're just portable and easy to carry around. So I went for this one. There's probably a lot of glare on that again, but this was the English edition, the ice cream, is it called? Happy Ice Cream from Bow and Tie. So I'll open this up for a closer look. So here we go. It always comes with the clear hard plastic bit to protect the front. There's a little bit of marking there, but it's not too bad. But I find you can use these as a pencil board, just if you want to save a bit of money on that. So yeah, so free pencil board, or you can use it just to protect your stuff. So yeah, so I really liked this design. I don't feel there were as many designs this year as I wanted as previous years. So last year I got the cherries, and I really like the ice cream purely because of the black background. I just feel it's really neat, and in terms of keeping clean, I really like the black. I like the silver against the black as well. I think it's really smart, and I like the way that the designs this year all seem to have differences between the print. So last year, for example, the cherries, they're all, you know, pretty much the same, and you just had the kind of standout one, which was a bit different. But this there, all loads of different ice creams on there basically. So that's the front, that's the back, there's the dropped ice cream. And opening it up, another one of the little pamphlets, just the hobo print inside. So for Weeks, you are looking at your kind of year at a glance, your monthly verticals, and then you've got your monthlies, and then you are straight into the the weeklies, and it's great because this starts on the 1st of December, so you can use it just that little bit early and really enjoy yourself and get the most out of your planner. So yeah, you've got the 7 horizontal lines here for the days of the week, and then you have the blank notes page opposite, which is fantastic. And then with this one, as I said, it's not a mega, it's just the standard weeks. So here we go, we've got a whole host of blank pages. I think there's 75 blank pages, which I think is probably more than enough. I think I was just being over ambitious last year about how much I was actually going to use it. And as I say, this one I'll predominantly be using for health tracking, but just like, you know, appointments and things like that as well, general appointments, but mostly it's sort of like diet logging and things. And then at the back you get a few of those pages like what you got in the cousin as well. So yeah, and with all of the weeks as well, you get this little plastic pocket that you can stick on. However, I would say don't use that until, if you've bought one, you have your cover on cover put on, which is a little bit squished, and I'll show you why in a minute. So I'll just get this out of the wrapper. There we go, done like a pro. So that's going to protect that cover just because it is fabric, so I do want to keep it nice. And then if you attach this to the back page and then you put a cover on, you won't be able to use it. And there is actually kind of, you have a pocket there anyway, so you could put it on this page here and use it there, or you could put it at the front here and have an additional pocket. But with the cover on cover, obviously you have got additional pouches that you can use. So I'm just going to pop it in there for now. And I forgot to say, here's the bookmarks. You get 2 with the weeks. There's a silver and a black or a grey one there. Hair falling out. There we go. So that is my weeks for 2026. And then I just couldn't resist. I had to get some additional bits and pieces. So pencil boards. I decided to go for the A5 and the A6 because I still have a lot of A5 kind of notebooks. And I have got a day free Techo from last year that I didn't use as well. So I'm going to, you know, have my Moomin pencil boards, and this one will be for my cousin, and it's green, so it's perfect. There we go. So I was really tempted to get more of the Moomin collection. I really liked the cover for the cousin, but I just feel that I've got a lot of Moomin stuff already. I've got Moomin artwork, I've got Moomin stationery, Moomin notebooks already. So I don't want to tie myself to a 12-month planner having a Moomin cover. So I thought I'll treat myself to the pencil boards. So the A6 one is this lovely sort of forest scene with Moomins larking about on a chandelier even. And yeah, just really like that. On the other side, we've got a Moomin in bed in the forest, so that's super cute. And as I said, the colour, you know, the green, it complements my my cousin really, really nicely. So I'm going to pop that in there. And then, as I said, I've got the A5 as well, the Moomins Up a Mountain. And on the back we've got, I can't remember these character names. It's been a long time since I watched the Moomins, but I did as a young child. And Moomin in the top hat staring at himself in the dresser. So yeah, super, super cute. So yeah, that will be going in my stack with the others. What else did I get? So, oh yeah, in keeping with the cover on cover, they have these really lovely stickers, the same artist, and I just thought they were so pretty. I really love this colour palette of blues, greens, purples. So let's have a closer look at that. Okay, so I wasn't sure how many sheets are in here, but it's 2. So these ones are like probably going to get a lot of glare there. These ones are like washi stickers and these splodges, so they'll be quite nice. You know, in like maybe a nice spread or monthly, a particular month I could use those. And then these ones are your smaller clear stickers with some silver foiled ones. Just see what they're like. Yep. Ah, yeah. So again, just in those beautiful sort of pastel colours. So yeah, really happy with them. I'm nearly at the end. Oh yeah, I got a couple of these now. I've forgotten completely what they're called, but they're basically book holders. They hold the pages together. That's probably not explained very well. So let me show you. So with the A5 Hobonichi, it's probably not needed as much. I'm not sure why I bought this. I probably just panicked and just bought it. But with the Weeks, you'll notice that this doesn't have a pen loop. Now, I think you can pull this out and use this as a kind of pen loop if you attach a Velcro dot to it, but I don't do that. So what if you have one of these, then what you can do is stick this on the back here, and then when you close it, you pull the elastic round and it keeps your Weeks closed. Because you will find that if you put this in your handbag or wherever, your school bag, that it will open up and, things can crush and, crinkle the pages up. So that's a really handy little thing. As I said, you just stick it on there and it will keep your book closed nice and secure, because I have found this year a few times that has happened with my Weeks. I forgot to say as well, you do have a pen loop here on the cover, but as I said, it does not keep your planner shut. As I said, this is for the bigger size, so I could technically still use this in my A5 to close it, but if you have the cover on, then you have the pen loops and you can just take your pen through one. If I can actually do that, that would be great. So you take your pen through, oh, it's just really stiff because it's new, through one, and then you thread it through. Oh my word, I'm not used to it because it's so heavy. You just pop that through the other one. There we go. And that will keep your planner closed because the pen is holding it together. But you could always use one of these as well in the back for extra security if you wanted to. So yeah, so that was those two items. And then the last thing I got before I get to my freebies was I just saw these lovely washi tape designs. I'll just take them out of the packet so you can see. Here we are. So they're just already done little washi strips that you just peel off and stick. And I just love these sort of florals. Again, lots of green on there, which I sort of really like to use on my planner. So freebie time. And I think this was the moment, I was quite intrigued because I really liked the freebies last year, which were the mystery notebooks. So there were 4 different designs, I think it was, and you didn't know what design you were getting. They came in the silver envelope and it was a surprise to see what you got. So this year they, came out and said it's going to be a little metal mini robot. And here he is. Super cute. So just get a better view under here for you. So there he is, the little robot. So they say he's a paperweight. I don't know if in this day and age we need paperweights anymore. I don't ever find myself working anywhere in gale force winds, but there we go. So he's much more of a little metal figure. Oh, it's tough to get out. So, oh, there we go. Just get rid of this. So there we go. There is quite a little bit of, quite a weight to him. So it would suffice as a paperweight. Please excuse my chip nails. They're due to be getting done. And, so just like a little sort of dull metal or brushed metal robot. It says, "You love you." And I think that sort of underpins the message from Hobonichi about self-care and things. No moving parts, that doesn't move, so I definitely wouldn't try and force it to. Little Japanese on his bottom there. And yeah, so that is the paperweight. Beautiful. And then the last items were the free pens. So if you buy any kind of Techo, or, you know, whether it be a cousin or a life planner, the A6, the A5, whatever, or a Weeks, then you get one of the Hobonichi pens, and they change the colours every year. So the colours this year are sort of this lovely burgundy and this sort of grey blue colour, what I would call maybe like a French antique blue. Can I get them out of the packet? No. Let's try. Good grief, what's going on here? Here we go. So they are nice pens to write with, I find, and you can buy refill inks for them, so you can reuse. Ooh. So yeah, Hobonichi Techo 2026, it says. They're Uniball, and they have 3 colours of inks. They've got the black, the blue and the red. Let me just see if I can find my last year's pen to compare it to. Oh, yep, here we go. So here's the 2025. You'll see they are pretty much identical. Obviously it's just the colour combo that changes every year. I wasn't a big fan of yellow and orange, not gonna lie. So this year's colour combo, yep, I really like that, and I feel it blends in nicely with planners that I've chosen for next year. So yeah. So that's everything I got from Hobonichi this year. I do feel it's one of those kinds of places where you could spend so much money, and you know, it quickly adds up with all the little accessories, and you can get too carried away with like, oh, but if I get one of these planners, I can use it for this, and I can get another one for this, and before you know it, you could end up with like 20 planners just because you want to try all the different, have all the different covers, or you want to, you know, you just want to buy. It's one of those things. So I'm glad I restrained myself this year compared to last year. I did spend a lot more money last year. This year I think I spent around the £120-ish mark, which I feel was really good for me. And then with customs and the delivery, it wasn't too much more. I think it was about £21 extra on top of that. So yeah. As for the paper, I believe last year a lot of people had issues with the paper. Now last year was my first year with using Hobonichi, so I didn't really have anything to compare it to. I personally find that I'm not too bothered about what pen I use, as long as it feels nice and it writes nice. I mean, if I was using a pen that went through, I just wouldn't use that pen anymore and I would change to a different one. I will be checking to see what does and doesn't work, but I love like the Energel pens, Pentel Energel pens. I like the Jetstream Uniball pens that we get for free. And my other favourite pen, one of my favourite pens that I have to use is the Tom Studio pen as well. And this one's the double-ended pen. And this one, I've got some beautiful colour inks for it. So I will be checking out and seeing if this bleeds or goes through. But if it does, then I just won't use it. It's not the end of the world. It is what it is. And yeah, it's the experience really, more than anything else, that matters to me. And you know, they've smashed it out the park again this year, I'd say. A really great lot of collection, good value, not too expensive when it comes to customs. And as for the speed of FedEx, wow, I cannot believe I got my order, the same working week as when it was placed. I just find that mind-blowing. So that was my Hobonichi haul for 2026. Let me know your thoughts, is there something else that you preferred from the collection? Is there something you missed out on? Well, that was the government intense security alert going out. That frightened the life out of me. Anyway, as I was saying, if you've got any thoughts on what I bought, or, anything else that you got from the collection that you want to share, just pop it in the comments below. But yeah, enjoy, happy planning, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye.